know. This week especially zoomed by.
It did, didn't it?
It really did. It really did. Let me just make sure that we are live.
You muted somehow.
Yep, I'm just trying to make sure that it's going okay.
I
Let's
see us live in YouTube, so we
Oh,
should be good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
Yep.
hello, everybody.
Oh boy, this topic, I tell you, it
Yes.
has been this topic is really, 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 is it okay to call it special?
Okay, can I just say this? I think all of our topics have been like, and they're never ending. There was something that we talked about recently, and it's something that might actually give us the finale of every discussion we'll ever have. You said something recently to me about becoming aware, right? And then what happens with the transformative process that then you are. It's this infinite transformative process. I hate to
Right.
put you on the spot, but do you remember that quote?
I do. I do. It's once we awaken, we shift into an infinite transformative state of being.
Mm.
And it could be even when we begin to awaken. I've toyed with both because as we awaken, we really never stop awakening. That's why I call it an infinite transformative state of being. And, the more we heal, the more awake we become, the more closer to our higher self we go, and the more our soul is free to be everything it was meant to be when it came into this earthly existence.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And
Yeah.
the reason I asked you to say that is just because this topic is bringing up these things that we thought we healed and they come back up again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to recognize for myself that when it comes back, and we've talked about this before, how it's at a deeper level.
Mm-hmm.
And so it feels like we're repeating, and perhaps we are, but it's at a different level. So then by you saying that initial quote allows me to then have gratefulness of the deeper level that I hit rather than going, freaking came up again, you know?
Yes, I know. And, it's interesting because I knew long ago when this started that I would end up going deeper and going deeper. And I hadn't realized what that really meant. I just knew it was part of the process. And as I start to experience these things or get re-triggered into something that I thought I had healed, I then understand that going deeper means getting more at the heart of where the thing came from. How was it an original trigger inside of me anyway? Where did it come from? And it might be aligned to a relationship with somebody else. For me, a bunch is aligned to sexual trauma. A bunch is aligned to my mom. A bunch is aligned to being bullied. A bunch, so you go deeper and figure out where they come from. And then you have these soul connections with these people, the bully, the person who sexually assaulted me, my mom, and then what did she go through? So then that's how we go deeper, is that we're not just healing our own selves, we're healing for the collective that's been involved in the thing. And so going deeper has, it has such a beautiful way of freeing us. And it's important that we go deeper. I'm not sure quite.
It doesn't feel freeing though at first.
It
For me,
doesn't.
it doesn't. For me, it feels like, what the fuck? I thought I healed this thing
Right.
and it's back.
Right.
But it's
It
not
is.
back. It's it's a different angle, right? Is what you're saying.
Oh, yes, because in my most recent experience, I had that aha moment where I went back into a subconscious habit from a new experience and I didn't even recognize it right away. And that's where the oh fuck comes from. Because it's like, wait a second, that was what I was doing that. So it can almost be a slap in the face because you're like, yeah, I got this. And then all of a sudden you're like, fuck, no, I don't.
Yeah, no. And then you go down, I don't know. For me, it gets kind of dark for me, and I'm a very happy, jovial person in general, right? The disco ball effect. I love that, Angela. The disco ball effect. It's, but when this happens, it can really kick you hard.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Uh,
yeah.
and it does for me, and it's not easy, and there is a lot of judgment that comes in when something that I thought I healed from comes back up again, and the nice thing is I do have more tools than I did before, so I
Right.
get out of the muck faster, which
Right.
is good. um
I would like to address something that Aiton said. I hope that's how he says his name. Um, he said the thing comes back after you forget them. The things come back after you forget them and you have a new, fresh perspective on it. It's still hard. And it's interesting that he would say that because as I was thinking about today's conversation, it took me to another conversation that I had with a friend of mine who we were chatting about her relationship with her husband and how he had said, I never want to be like my dad. But then all of a sudden, however many years into their relationship later, she's like, he's exactly like his dad. And it's like the forgetting, that we forget that there were things inside of that relationship that you didn't want to act out, but they're subconscious. So when we forget, it's because it's sitting subconsciously deep inside of, our being. So the forgetting and then the re-triggering brings it back to life. And if we don't stay conscious to that new, fresh perspective, to the new way that you've defined you want to be, and really stay conscious to that, it is much easier to get pulled back in. And I get it because it just happened to me.
Same. Same. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Same. I love that.
Yeah.
Uh,
What you gonna sing for us today?
well, you know, I um I wrote this song about a lighthouse, and I want to share it with everyone. And as I wrote the song, uh, no, when I finished the song, I realized that what I originally thought the song was about wasn't quite the perspective of what the song was about. This is going to sound weird, maybe, or maybe not. It feels really good to me. The lighthouse in the song is actually my inner self, which all of our inner selves are very patient and they don't judge us and they are always there supporting us. And I'm sure that we've all had glimpses of that, or a lot of glimpses of that and feelings of that. And I'm excited that I've felt more and more and more in my life that that is true. And this topic today hits me so close to home. And I found myself in a storm on the sea. And I thought that, I thought it was something else, writing like about something else. And then I finished the song and I realized I'm calling myself back to that place of being patient with myself and not judging and being fully supported. So as you hear the song, you might be able to relate it. When I write songs, I tend to write them in a way that I can connect with them even years to come. And when you connect with songs, they do change. And you might actually want to do that practice with one of your favorite songs and think about maybe how it meant to you years ago or something. And so this song is that, will be that for me, and I can already tell because it's already been that for me in 2 days. So
Okay. Before you jump in, because what
sure.
I'm so excited about is the words that you just said when I finished the song. So when did you start writing this one, honey?
Probably it was this weekend. It was probably Sunday. So just a couple
Right.
of days ago. Well, just yeah, yeah,
And you finished it.
yeah. This one finished.
And that is, I know that you've started other songs that aren't quite done. And that, I mean, for me, for you, Kelsey, this is a big moment because it is the completion of what this song, was bringing in for you from a healing standpoint, right? And the ability to move through the things that have really pulled this together for you. So I can't wait for you to share it.
Yeah, yeah. All right. This one is called The Lighthouse. Now we had talked. Did you want me to just kind of talk through the lyrics first, or let me just? Should I just give it to them the full way first?
You do what feels right as you are starting out, because I think either way and or both ways are going to be incredible.
Okay.
And
Let's.
while you're pulling that, Angela just said, "Hey Kelsey, will you release an album of your L3 originals?"
I think I need to, and I think it'll be like an
Mm,
acoustic album, acoustic piano, acoustic guitar, very very raw to the point, limited production.
yeah, that just made
So
my whole body.
so I think so. I think so.
Yep.
So all right, right, because we talked about this song on Monday when I just started writing it, and I finished it. Got it. And that's why we decided this topic today. So much has happened, folks. If you feel like this week has zoomed by, but tons have happened, we get you. I don't even know what day it is. It's Friday. This one's called The Lighthouse. You might forgive me, but I'll never change. When you're coming too strong, I'll still light your way. You search for a reason in a bright light that shines. The closer you get there, it reminds you to turn around before your boat hits the shore. But the lighthouse will always call you home, home. Patiently waiting, no matter the storm. My light never wavers. Go on and explore, but you turn around before your boat hits the shore. But the lighthouse will always call you home, home. Home. You'll remember when you see where the ocean and the shore meet. Dock your boat, place your feet on the shore, 'cause the lighthouse will
gosh. Yay. Are you
Mm.
okay?
I'm good. That one had a lot of feels. That's exactly how the song was in my head. And I actually performed it without fully knowing how I was going to do part of the bridge. And I just trusted that I was going to figure it out in Lyrical Lessons for Life today. And I did. So
Oh,
I'm
you
going to
did.
have to go back and watch this because that's how I should write the song. The Lighthouse. At the end of the song, it goes, what I really want to highlight is it goes, you turn around before your boat hits the shore, but the lighthouse will always call you home. And then later on in the song, talking about this idea of us remembering things, right? It brings it back up. Eitan said he forgot, it's easy to forget things, right? You'll remember when you see where the ocean and the shore meet. It's this idea that this patiently waiting light is always there and it never dims. You just don't see it all the time. And you'll remember when you see it, you'll remember and it'll bring it back up for you. Then I say, dock your boat, place your feet on the shore. So this idea that the sea is this, there could be storms in the sea, but it's shaky. It's not as stable.
That's right.
Because the lighthouse always calls you home. Yeah.
Steadfast, patiently waiting, right?
Steadfast. The light never wavers, so you can explore. The light never wavers, so you can explore. It's okay to go to sea. It's okay. It's okay to see the lighthouse and turn around because it's always there and it will always call you home. So it's so crazy. I wrote this, and when I bawled when I realized that it was my inner being, it's within all of us. We have it. The lighthouse is there. The light's shining, and we see it sometimes, and we see glimpses. And it was like me writing. It's the weirdest out of body experience, to be honest, to read this and then to play it and then to have the feelings I have with it, and then to know that it was like within me telling myself, hey, I'm still here. I don't know. It's like a little woo woo, I know, but for me, it's woo
You are
woo.
so funny when you get to the woo-woo because Miss Scientist here.
I know. I'm
Can
like,
we just say
this
our scientist Kelsey is also sort of woo-woo? Yay!
it's happening, Joe.
Am I rubbing off? Is that what you were
I
saying?
think so. I think you are because I'm believing it through this song.
It's well, and you know what? You bring it home with this song and the belief it's not even a question. It's just not even a question. And the resonance with the light, the lighthouse is always there. The light is always there. Even when we're too far from the shore to see it, it is always there and it's just waiting for us to come back.
It's always there. And it never searches for you. That's another thing. It never says, hey, where are you? Hey, where are you? Hey, no, it says, I'm
I'm
still
waiting.
here. I'm
Mhm.
still here. I'm still here. It never judges. It never says, hey, where are you? Why did you go so far out into the sea? It's like, no, it's like, hey, don't come in too fast. I also say words so I go, when you're coming too strong, when you're coming in too strong, like you're just out in sea and just, and then you're like, the lighthouse is like, hey, there's a shore there. Like, whoa, slow down, like calm down just a bit,
Yeah.
and it's the lighthouse will still light your way even if you're coming in too strong, and if you come in too strong, you're going to crash your boat right onto the shore, which is the lighthouse doesn't want that to happen. But it
I just did that. I just crashed my boat. That's exactly what I just did. Right. In the last 2 months, when I got triggered again, I came in hot. I came in too fucking hot and I crashed my boat again. And I had to back up And I had to get a little bit further away to actually see what the light is available, what's available to me. And I had to slow down. Yeah, I get that. All of it, Kelsey. It's beautiful. Thank you. I think I've cried enough this week that there were tears that wanted to stream down my face, and my nose got a little red, but no tears. I think I'm teared out. This is good.
Love it. I am, yeah. I was going to cry, and then I realized we're live. So I did. No, I teared up a little bit with that song.
Didn't stop me last week, and you held the space for me. So we always hold the space for each other, huh?
We do, yeah, yeah. We do
Oof.
touch our bows. I'm sorry. I need like a moment. That song. Woo! Does everyone else feel it like I do, or my? I mean, you. I know you feel it, Joe.
I feel it. I absolutely feel it. I know Angela feels it. And did you say?
Angela Aton, yes, the lighthouse always. It's like the inner being that holds you. It's the weight of your body that holds. Yep,
Yeah,
yep. That's and
our
it's
higher
swimming
self and our soul.
to shore in the boat. The lighthouse doesn't judge; it never judges. Yep, it's always there, patient, majestic, waiting. Light is always on.
Mm.
Yeah, yep. It's it's constantly reminding you, Aton. Yep, it's constantly there, and it never says, "Where have you been?"
Right.
So
Right.
when we have the thing that comes back up, I think one of the things that happened to me recently that I wanted to bring up is that I judge myself. And I'm okay with that. The fact that I did that, I'm not judging myself for judging myself. It's to me, it represented that sea in this song, and the storm, and the light was still shining. You know, it was still there, and then but I judged myself for having the feelings I was having, right? Because I thought I fixed the thing. I thought I healed from it already. And why would it, how dare it come back up and me not be strong enough to recognize and let it roll off my shoulders and just be fine and not and be untouched. And so it it just hit at a different angle, and it reminded me of old feelings. So one thing
Yeah.
I want to talk about with this topic, and we talked about it being maybe two parts to this, but when we have the old thing come back up, uh, and it is maybe slightly different, and it brings up different things that you need to heal, which it did for me. Really trying to get out of this idea of, well, not trying to get out of, I realized I judged myself. And part of that was coming from the fact that it was a thing I thought I healed from, brought up myself, my old self. So this is the weird thing for me, and I want to know if anyone else has had this happen. Something comes up, you thought you healed, and not only does it come back up, but your old self all of a sudden pokes through. And that's what happened to me. And it was it
Mhm.
was it was really frustrating, because not only did I think I healed from it, but then I didn't know my old self would come back like that.
Do you know why? Do you know why it did? Why the old self comes back?
Well, because for me, I looked at it because it was an old thing. It was like I had healed from it in that zone, maybe, and I don't know, but it
Yeah,
brought back who I was when I had originally dealt with it.
that's right. Yeah, it's exactly right. It's because it's subconscious habit. It's subconscious and egoic habit that comes back, that your old self is aligned to. And because the thing happened that took you and triggered you into that place, the old self is like, hey, yay, I have a trigger. Here I am again. Right. It's your old self has a personality, the subconscious habit and the ego look for those things to come back. Because
Oh.
when we get conscious, when we move in the present moment inside of our conscious mind, conscious thought, mindful action, present moment, the subconscious doesn't get fed. But when you drop any one of those components, either the conscious thought, the mindful action, or staying in the present moment, the subconscious is like, yay, there's room for me again. So that's why your old self comes back. And then, of course, the conscious you is like, well, fuck, now I'm going to judge myself. Well, that's also the ego saying, yay, now I'm here. So yeah, it's super easy to spiral back into a zone of turbulence and into that place. And I'm very familiar with it because
Oh,
it's,
me too.
yeah. So let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
When did you realize that as it happened, you were also then judging yourself? How quickly this time?
Oh, very quickly. Uh, within, well, for me, very quickly. Within within about 48, less than 48 hours, probably. Less than
Really?
48 hours.
And the last time it took a lifetime, right? I mean, the last time it was
Oh
years
yeah. Oh,
when
I
you
didn't know
started
I
to
was judged. Yeah, I had no idea I was
right.
judging myself because actually the judge felt correct because my subconscious of like what I had learned growing up was so strong.
Right.
When I say growing up, it's just society, being around society, like being around, uh, yeah, I always wonder sometimes when I say, you know, when I was growing up, as if it was a bad thing of how I grew up. Like how I grew up was great. Like we all pick up things that we have to
Oh, absolutely.
process.
Yes, for sure.
And so, yeah, probably about 48 hours. And then, now I didn't quite know how to make it stop. I was like, okay, I'm aware. I'm just aware. And you know what? We're just going to be upset. And some hours of
Yes,
the day, I'm going to feel nothing. And that's okay
yes.
too.
That's good. That's so okay. Why is that okay? It's okay because you need to feel all of the emotions because all emotion is God in motion. It's energy in motion and it's all sacred. And when we constrict any emotion, even though we might not want to feel it, when we constrict it and stop it, it will go in a box and it will want to come out another day. So allowing yourself to feel that and allowing yourself to be frustrated and all the things that come up is really good because then you can let it flow through the body and let it go. And
Yeah.
that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Are you still judging yourself?
I'm not judging myself. I am trying to let this fucking thing flow through. That's what
Right.
that
That's
sound
right.
does that sound restrictive at all? A little bit.
No,
I'm like,
you said you're
path
letting it
is
go.
clear.
Yeah.
Get this show on the road here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, for me, the best way to then start to, after I recognized a thing I thought I healed has showed back up, and this is how it showed back up. And then I realized I judged myself for how I showed back up when it showed back up. Stop judging myself, right? Or recognize, hey, that's okay. And then giving myself time and space and just some grace and just say it's okay. So
It's okay.
there's a lot of it's
Beautiful
okay.
song.
Yeah,
And you wrote a beautiful song.
I did. I really like this song. And I want to say something about this song because Charlotte just brought up something that is also another there's so many topics within this song.
Uh-huh.
She's talking about listening to Lighthouse. She said, see myself and what I seek from someone.
Mhm.
This idea of being patiently waiting for someone, okay, can be is another it's another topic that can also stem from this song, and we can glean some things from it. I wonder too.
Yeah, I agree. I agree so much, Charlotte, because it is we we are never triggered without something happening from or inside of someone else. There's the relationship, there's the whatever it might be, the conversation, the thing that is causing the trigger. And what I've realized, and because I've been through one most recently as well, and it took me a couple of months to actually figure out what the hell was going on. And once I did, I was like, oh my God, I've been triggered back into this subconscious habit that I spent my whole life up until the age of 46 trying, to live inside of, that didn't work for me. But when I was having a conversation with the person who I had been triggered from, if I may say it that way, when she apologized, when she said, "Oh my God, I can't believe I did that to you," I said, "No, hold up. You didn't do this to me. I allowed it to happen. I needed it to happen." And so I needed it to happen so that I could go one layer deeper, so that I could have a new experience that I could then heal from one layer deeper, which has led into this huge, expansive healing of so many other things because of this one situation. So expecting this other person to have acted one way or another way, it's having an expectation of somebody, right? And really, I try not to have expectations of people, because that doesn't lead me to the right place inside of my head, because then I get disappointed and then I'll be triggered again. It's this vicious cycle. But yeah, I found a quote that goes along with that. It says, if someone else's reaction seems out of proportion to the situation, it usually means that something else was triggered. So, and some Dr. Fogel, I have no idea who she is, but she wrote that. And it's like what we can see for ourselves from ourselves, and what we can see for others from others. And it's the intertwining of, relationships.
Absolutely. You brought up something that was really powerful, in that when you realized what was going on and you came to this person and the way that she responded to you, for you to be able to respond to her and say, "Oh, no, you didn't do this to me. It just needed to happen, and it's on you. You've just taken responsibility of no, this is like, I was triggered. This, how could you have known? This isn't something. Yeah, this is on me to heal." And you talk about it from a great being grateful that it happened, so that you could then heal from it. How cool. I am hoping that by the end of today, I'll be there with my thought process about my stuff.
Well, don't put a timeline on it. I would
No,
tell
you're
you
right.
to stay open to letting it all flow,
I,
and then you'll know. You'll be like, "Oh, all right, okay."
you said those words, and I thought, what, wouldn't that be nice? That sounds like a lovely. Oh, bless your heart. That sounds so
Bless
lovely.
your heart. Did you just do the
I
bless?
did, and I have no idea when or if that will come for me. And if it doesn't come this time, I am sure. I am sure, as Angela talked about the disco ball effect, I'll just go move on to another little mirror on the disco ball, and it'll still shine a light on it. So,
You know what, Kelsey, what I love most about our conversations is that we're just real inside of the moment. And the fact that, I'm still grieving inside of this last thing that triggered me, and we could make a whole friggin' hour-long conversation just about that. But that you just threw it out there, that you're not there yet, that and it's okay. The gratitude, the deep knowing that the thing happens and that there's gratitude inside of it, just waiting to be seen, is all you need to have. You don't get to define the time. It defines it for you. You will know. You will know. So for anybody else that is feeling that shit, when am I going to know? You'll know. Period. A friend told me once, when I was struggling inside of my marriage still, she said, "Joe, you'll know. You'll just know when you're ready to take the step." And she was right. I did. And now I feel that way about everything. When I know, I fucking know. Period. So yeah, it's a beautiful knowing. to have the patience that when you know, you know.
I have,
So give yourself
I
some
have
grace.
so many thoughts going through my head, and it's fantastic. And I'm so grateful for this conversation. This has been really helpful for me as we have things that we thought we healed from come back up. How do we navigate that? It it kind of it blows my mind. This song that came out of it, it really has helped me a lot. And I'm so grateful that I got to share it with everyone here. This
Mm.
conversation has been amazing.
You know what? I think the other piece to this is that, you mentioned earlier about just letting it flow, letting the emotions flow through you, and um, feeling Angela, she's so cute. Feeling the emotions is is so important. And Eitan, how do you say his name? I'm going to say it wrong again.
Well, maybe I say it wrong. I always thought it was Aton.
Aton. Okay, I'm going to say Aton because it feels good that way. He says, sometimes I feel like it's about riding the wave, not necessarily doing anything about the emotion, but just experiencing it and having and living through it. Living through it can be powerful. So, Aton, hell yes, you absolutely feel the emotion, experience it, all of it. I talked earlier about when you constrict the emotion, how it just
Right.
gets stuck and lodged in the body somewhere.
It does.
Yes,
Big
it
time.
does. And then old habits come into play, right? Like, oh my God, I can only if I could tell you the things that went down in the last 2 months that I was stuck inside of because I was triggered again, you'd be like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. I love what Aton said about that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily doing anything. You know, our emotions do help us. They're help us drive and navigate. For me, when I start to experience something that just triggers me and brings up an old tape gets played, as Charlotte has said to me once before, and it's in those moments I'm like, ooh, let's get quiet. Let's get a little quiet. Let's pay attention. Let's let it flow. We don't need to. We just gonna appreciate whatever emotions are coming through. Just say hi. Oh, see, this is me observing and not judging. You have to stop judging yourself. You have to stop judging yourself. Otherwise, every time an emotion comes in, you're going to respond to it and just be like, yeah, I'm mad at this person. Or and that doesn't help at all.
Yeah. You just
Can you guys tell that I'm actively going through some things?
I love your grit. Yes, I can. Everybody can. Because you wear your heart on your sleeve.
I
And
do.
I
Yeah.
don't think either one of us know how not to. So how we balance each other out inside of that it's just amazing to me still. Um, are you gonna play again? Is that what I just
Can
saw?
I play? May I wrap us up with the bridge of after we've decided that we understand the lighthouse is there. And
Absolutely.
we've decided that we were in the sea and in the storm, and we've decided to take a closer look at the lighthouse light.
Hmm.
Ooh, yeah. You'll remember when you see where the ocean and the shore meet. Dock your boat, place your feet on the floor, 'cause the lighthouse will always, I said the lighthouse will always call you home. Thank you so much for today, everybody. This was fantastic.
Thank you,
Thank
Kelsey.
you, Joe.
Hmm. I love you.
I love you too. Have an awesome rest of your day, everybody. We'll see you next Friday. We're not sure what topic we're going to do. I have a feeling I might write another song this weekend. We'll just see how things go.
Yeah, I feel like we need to keep talking about triggers for some reason.
I
So,
think so. I think
um,
so. It will
yeah,
definitely be a continuation of this
for
conversation.
sure. Some rebirthing is going on for a lot of people. So, love
Absolutely.
and light, you guys.